My name is Koen Dewettinck. I'm assistant professor in HRM. If we want to excel as a company, if we want to make the difference, I think the key is in the people working for your company, attracting the right people, making sure that they have the right context where they can make a difference. People performance, well, that's what people do and what people contribute in their jobs. How to motivate people and how to make sure that they do the best they can in the organization. 50 years of research on trying to differentiate between people that show a strong motivation and people that show weaker motivation. And four big elements, the four big differences. First are the meaningfulness. How important do you think your job is? And you can make the reflection for yourself too. The second one is how well you think you are doing your job. How confident do you feel in doing your job? The third dimension is impact. Who makes the difference? And probably the most important one, especially in Western cultures, is the idea of autonomy and freedom. Having the idea that you can make choices on the work floor. There's one thing constant in management. Most of the time it has to do with people. How to take individual differences into account. Who is important in my company? Because very often HR tends to have the idea that they should have the bread spread approach. We develop systems that everybody can use. And I think differentiating between people, between different kinds of people, I think that's key. Who are the really important ones? And also who are the ones where I can make a difference? Because there's important people and there's pivotal people. The pilot is very important. If you look at the flight attendants, and if you think in terms of, okay, where should we invest in terms of training and making sure that people have the right attitude, the smiling pilot is not making a huge difference, but the smiling flight attendant is. HR is becoming harder and softer at the same time. There's always more pressure on people to make the difference in terms of competitiveness, in terms of the contribution they make, the performances they deliver. Also becoming softer because organizations need to attract and retain good talent. At the same time, we are pushing people, but we are also pampering them. Companies become communities. Well, I think one of the individual needs is people want to belong to groups, where people really feel at home and they get some meaning out of that. And I think that becomes very important. If you look at very successful organizations, very often it has to do with the culture. Culture is becoming more and more important. Very often what I see is that performance management is seen as the strict process of goal setting, having an interview between the boss and the employee, doing some kind of an evaluation, and then jing jing. Performance management is much more. It's about the culture you create. And I think if you have that idea of continuous improvement, and if you create openness among people, and if you get that kind of an environment where people give feedback to each other, and maybe if you can combine it with targets on a collective level rather than very individual, maybe that's something that might help in the future.